Instead of asking, how many brothers and sisters do you have, you can just ask, how many siblings do you have? Siblings just means brothers and sisters. If you have one brother and no sisters, you have one sibling. If you have two sisters and no brothers, you have two siblings. If you have two sisters and one brother, you have three siblings. And it's important to remember that you do not include yourself in that number. So if your parents have 4 children, you have 3 siblings. If your parents have 2 children, you have 1 sibling. And we usually ask this question when we already know that someone has 1 or more siblings. When we don't know if they have siblings, we often start by asking just, do you have siblings? How you answer this question is really up to you. If you don't want to give too much information, you can answer just, yes, I do, or no, I don't. But if you feel comfortable giving them more information, then you can go ahead and tell them how many siblings you have. So now let's talk about how to do that. Obviously, you can start by saying, I have 2 siblings, or I have 3 siblings. But after we do that, we usually give more information. For example, I have 2 siblings. I have an older brother, and I have a younger sister. You can also just say, I have an older brother and a younger sister, without saying, I have 2 siblings. I myself have 1 sibling. I have an older brother. But I never say, I have 1 sibling. I usually just say, I have an older brother. If you don't have any siblings, you can just say that. I don't have any siblings. Or you can say, I am an only child. And this does not mean that you are a child. It just means that you have never had siblings. And if a sibling is not alive anymore, you can decide whether or not you want to say that. For example, imagine that you have 2 brothers who are still alive, and 1 sister who is not alive anymore. If someone asks you how many siblings you have, and you don't want to talk about the death of your sister, some people might just say, I have 2 brothers. But if you want to mention your sister, you could say something like, I have 2 brothers who are still living and a sister who passed away several years ago. And in some cultures, people ask questions like, what is your birth order? That question works. It makes sense, but it feels weird to me because it's not something that I would ever ask someone. If you want to ask someone that question, you can, but they might seem a little bit surprised at first because they've probably never been asked that question before. Usually, we just ask, how many siblings do you have? And if we really, for some reason, want to figure out the birth order, then we just ask more questions. For example, how many of your siblings are older than you? Or how many younger siblings do you have? And if someone asks you about your birth order, you could say something like, I'm the oldest of 3 children. I'm the middle child. I'm the second of 6 children. Or, I'm the youngest of 5 children. So yeah, that's how we talk about our siblings in English. If you have any other questions about this topic, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.